If you are sick and tired of working your butt off trying to get your first customers only to get hung up on, ignored, or just rejected over and over again, this video is for you. I'm going to teach you a dead simple hack to get your first 10 customers in a matter of days, not months. This is the exact same process I used to sell over $500,000 for my own startup before we even had a product, and it works for every industry and every business. So let's get right into the 5 steps to do this. And then at the end of this video, I will also show you how to leverage those first 10 customers into getting the next 100 effortlessly. So step 1 to getting your first 10 customers is to identify who are the ideal early customers. And you might be tempted to think, well, duh, anyone who pays me is a good customer. But you couldn't be farther from the truth. You see, not everyone is cut out to be an early customer. Many customers complain. They cancel too quickly, they demand too many features, or they might want very specific things for their business that can lead you to building something that actually doesn't serve the rest of the market. It's very critical that you pick the right customers early on in this process. So what does a right customer actually look like? Well, first and foremost, good customers like being early. They get sort of a joy out of being someone on the first to try something new. They like trying new things. And because of this, they know what it's like to be an early customer. Being an early customer comes with a lot of issues, and they are more understanding when things go wrong. And in fact, I would say that they get more pleasure out of trying and being part of something new than just slapping a solution on their business and looking the other way. They treat it more of a partnership. And because of this partnership aspect, they're also more communicative to tell you what's working and what's not working so you can actually improve your business. So it's so critical early on to actually get your first 10 customers to be these 10 sort of early adopter style customers. So then how do you find these guys? Like, where are they? Well, there's a few things you can look for. First, you generally don't want the behemoths of your industry to be your early customers. It's usually what I would say is a small to medium-sized business that is more likely to have these early adopter style mindsets. On top of that, you also want your decision maker, as in the person signing the contract to buy whatever you're selling, to be someone who is sort of known for being innovative or who likes to try new things. So you might learn this by asking them, like, what else have you used? What else do you use in your business or whatever? And if they're only listing like super legacy players, they may not be a good fit for you. Oftentimes what I've found, like selling B2B software, it can be sort of maybe there was an older dad or mother who was running the business and sort of like passing it on to the next generation. And often the next generation owner, the new owner, wants to sort of, put their stamp on the world. They don't want to just do things the way their parents did. And so in these generational businesses, often when there's a transition of ownership to the next generation, it's a really good time to find this sort of early customer. Either way, once you've identified a list of potential early customers, you need to get in touch with them. But there's a huge problem here, because if you actually just reach out to these people and try to sell them something, guard goes up immediately. Because they're innovative, they're used to getting pitches, and so when something comes their way, they are on high alert. And so the way to get around this, you need to use sort of a Jedi mind trick to get around their defenses so you can actually have a real conversation with them and turn them into a customer. And to do this, there are 2 methods that I've sort of seen work really well, and I'll walk you through each of them. So the first is what I would call the feedback method. The feedback method is where you reach out to someone and you say, hey, listen, we are a new company, a new business in market, and we're building XYZ, and we're building it for people just like you. Now, we're not done yet, but we're really trying to make sure that we build something that matters, that helps people just like you. Would you be open to hopping on a call with us sometime to give us feedback on what we're building and help steer us in the right direction? The early adopters and the innovators actually love these kind of conversations because it means that they're important. They're giving you some feedback. They're helping out, this young entrepreneur, and they're really helping shape the future of their industry, and that gives them a lot of joy. So that's sort of one approach. The other approach is what I would consider the flattery method. This is where you spend a little less time talking about yourself and saying, hey, we're this new company trying to learn, and you reach out and you say, listen, so-and-so, I'm a big fan of your work. I listened to that podcast you did. I saw that you won this award, you still say the same thing. We're a new company. I'd love to get to meet someone as innovative as you and just sort of understand how you think about the business. Really impressive, the work that you've done. And I'd really appreciate it if we could hop on a call sometime. Either way, what you're doing here is you're trying to not come out and say, I have something to sell you, would you like to buy it? But you're trying to get in touch with this innovator and actually hop on the phone with them, have a real conversation about what you're looking to build, the problems and challenges of their business, and how those two might work together. And a critical step during this conversation is to also be looking for signs that they are the right kind of early customer. And you can usually tell just by the way that they talk about trying new things and the different solutions they've used in their business in the past. If it becomes obvious that they're not a fit for you, don't hang up on them, just thank them for the time and move on. But what you're ultimately looking for is trying to find these ideal early customers and actually have live conversations with them. To do this, a simple method that we used is to just get a big list. You can have someone scrape this or put it together and send 50 emails and 50 calls a day. You probably only have to do this for like 10, maybe 20 days. You will have enough conversations where you can actually start to build a list of early customers. But during this conversation, once it's going well, there is a critical next step. And this is probably the big hack of this video on how to actually turn them from a figure that seems innovative and seems cool to one that actually buys software from you. And ultimately, what we're going to be doing here is asking them to become a customer of ours. But as I've said before, if you just say, hey, do you want to become a customer of ours? Boom, guard goes up, conversation over, they shut down, they say, hey, thanks, it's been really fun. I got to get back to some other things. Thanks for the time. So what you want to do instead is to invite them into a special opportunity just for them. And by doing this, you can actually turn them into a customer, frankly, without them even realizing it. Let me walk you through exactly how this conversation should go. So first, you want to thank them. And this is, again, a little bit of flattery comes in. You're going to say, listen, I've really enjoyed this conversation. I've learned so much, and you've brought so many good insights to this call. I really just want to first say thank you for this conversation. Then you're going to transition and say, we're building something. It's really small, but I think it could be really interesting for you. And then after, sort of flattery, you're going to transition to this next statement, which is really critical. You're going to say, by the way, we are building an advisory board of innovators and thought leaders in this space to help us build the best product possible. And I know we're just getting to know each other, but I can already tell that you might be a good fit for this. Would you be open to hearing a couple minutes about it? And if the conversation's been going well, they'll hopefully say yes. They usually say yes because, it sounds important, it sounds interesting. Now, here's where the magic happens. Pay close attention because we're going to walk through a 3-part close. And when I outline this and show you how it works, you will understand the power of this and that it's not even really sales at this point. I mean, it is sales, but it's so under the radar and smooth that you'll see why customers love it. So the first thing you're going to do in this 3-part close is walk them through what's in it for them. In any conversation in sales or whatever, people are always wondering what's in it for them. So you're going to say, listen, the very first thing we do is we give you an extreme discount on our product. It's not the rack rate. This is a special rate that we'd ask you to sign an NDA so no one else knows about, but it's going to be, and this is where you insert your percentage, anywhere from 30 to maybe 70% off what you hope to sell this thing for. Now, I know that is a big discount, and you might be saying, I don't want to sell this product forever like that. It's fine. You're getting these early customers that can actually benefit you. So I'd recommend going as far to 70% as you possibly can, but you, the business owner, will decide that. Anyways, you're going to say, listen, this is the discount that you get. On top of that, you also get direct access to me, the CEO. So we're going to be having conversations, and I really want to know, what in the product is working for you. What can we build to actually help your business? Now, in exchange for access to the CEO and this insane discount, we do ask for a few commitments from you as being part of our advisory board. The first is that you would be available for customer references. Obviously, we're an early company. We're just starting out. Having you is really important to us. But we want to make sure that we can talk about it. So if a customer does want to talk to you or something, we'd ask that, every now and then you might take a call with them. The other thing that we'd want to do is, assuming this is successful and we make, your business really successful because of our product, we would ask that we could just do a case study on it. It's super valuable for us as an early company to be able to talk about the cool work that we're doing here. We would do all the work, but just that we could use your logo and your brand in a case study. And I understand that, this is obviously a commitment from you. So the last thing I would say is if you decide to go ahead with this, we do offer a total money back guarantee. This isn't about us selling our product. I mean, obviously we're giving you a big discount anyways. It's really about making sure that you're sort of on this journey together with us. If we don't deliver on our promises or you're not happy with this thing, At any point, you just let me know. We will refund the payment and rip up the contract and hopefully walk away as friends. So that's the conversation, but let's take a step back here and see what we've actually done. We have offered an insane discount, direct access to the CEO to help guide the features, makes them feel important, it makes them feel like a part of the thing, and there's a money back guarantee. This is not a gotcha moment. This is not the moment where you secretly trick them into buying your software. It's actually a really good deal. There's a money back guarantee. They're getting a price that they won't get anywhere else. And this is like how business should actually be done. You're not tricking people. You're not pulling a fast one on them. You're actually building a mutually beneficial relationship out of this. And honestly, this is just the best way to do business. Like at any business interaction that I do with someone, I want both sides to feel like, wow, we got a pretty good deal here. And yes, there are a lot of rich people that will tell you the way to win is like the other guy's crying when you leave the room because you squeezed every last penny out of them and you ripped them to shreds in this negotiation. And that's like, it works. There's lots of rich people that got rich doing that. I mean, I know a lot of them, but I don't know any happy rich people that got rich doing that. The happy ones that I know are fine leaving a little bit on the table on giving these win-win deals. So maybe just a little bit of like rant and philosophy on the side of doing business, but what we're doing here is not unethical. It is very legit, and it's a way to build an actual happy business for you and this customer. Now, having said that, there is one more critical step that we need to do if we're actually gonna make this work, because you just gave this amazing offer to this customer, you've invited them to be a part of your customer advisory board, but you need to make it official because they're gonna leave super hyped up. But then, an hour later, a couple hours later, they're gonna be like, wait a second, I don't know if I have time for this. I've got all these other things going on. So you need to make this official by sending them over a contract. Let me walk you through it. All you're gonna do is whip up a Word doc or a Google Doc, and you're gonna put your logo up top. Just make it look official. And then on the contract, you're gonna say, this is a special invite for customer name to join the customer advisory board of your company name and take part in helping guide and shape the product. Below that, you'll talk about the benefits. The benefits of joining this advisory board are, special discount that we talked about and access to the CEO. The commitment from customer name is customer reference and case study. And there's a money back guarantee on all of this. So if at any point they are unsatisfied, we'll refund the payments that they've given us and cancel the contract. And then you're going to have their signature and your signature. So it's a really simple contract. It's not like wildly complex. Make sure it fits on one page so they can look at it, sign it, and feel good about moving forward. But what this does is it solidifies the process. This isn't like some scheme that you came up with. You're actually inviting them to be a part of a real thing where you are making commitments to them, they are making commitments to you, and everyone is on board with it. By doing this, it drastically increases your chances of turning them into real customers. And I strongly recommend that you actually just do this for your first 10 customers. Give them steep discounts, make sure you can use them as case studies, and it will make your business so much easier. But of course, you want more than 10 customers. So here are 3 easy ways to turn those initial 10 customers into 100 customers. So the first is customer referrals. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna wait 2, maybe 3 months, wait until the customer is happy, they're using whatever service or software you're selling, and then you're gonna go back to them and say, listen, thank you so much for being a part of the customer advisory board. Like, it's been so valuable. I can tell that you're also enjoying the product. We're looking to sort of expand our business, and you being on the customer advisory board gives so much weight to your word and your referral since you're helping shape this thing. Do you know anyone else that would be interested in what we're building? Either other business owners or, friends of friends that could benefit from this. And not everyone will give you referrals, but usually what you'll find is that by asking, you can actually get just a handful of new customers just from that process. The second way you're gonna leverage these customer advisory board members is by doing what I call case study outreach. So each of them has committed to let you build a case study on the results in their business and things like that. Once you have the case study done, what you're gonna do is you're gonna look for similar customers to them. Maybe they're in the same geography or the same industry or whatever, and you're gonna reach out to all of them referencing this case study. So all of your marketing, all of your messaging, all of your outreaches say, listen, came across your business and noticed you're struggling with or you're trying to work on XYZ. I'd love to share this case study with you on how we just helped customer advisory board customer do those same things with the following results. I think it would be really beneficial to see how they're winning in business and how it might be able to help you. Let me know if you're open to that. And yes, it's cold outreach, it's cold calls, so you're gonna get a lot of rejections, but by leveraging that you have done this for someone else just like them, reception goes way up, close rate goes way up. So you can really leverage that case study. And then the final way that you can turn these 10 customers into 100 customers is to actually leverage them for industry conferences. So what we would do is when we had these customer advisory board members, we'd often try to bring them to our booth at an industry event. We'd fly them in, we'd pay for their flights, we'd pay for their hotels, we'd pay for their meals, and we'd say, why don't you come to the event? I know there's gonna be a bunch of your friends there. You can hang out with us at our booth. You can go around, walk around, maybe we'll do a dinner. While we're there, we'd love if you could just join us and sort of maybe help spread the word. Good early customers will actually be willing to sort of walk around the event and bring their friends to your booth. What happens is it makes them feel elevated in status. The same way that a lot of angel investors angel invest in startups because it's sort of a social thing for them. They want to say to their buddies when they're drinking or whatever, yeah, I just invested in this new hot startup, et cetera, et cetera. These early adopters get their social proof and their social status from finding companies like yours. So you can really leverage them and have them come to the conference, introduce new customers to you, and also grow your user base just by making them feel important. Now, all of this from getting your first 10 customers to your first 100 customers does fit into a bigger picture, which is ultimately designed to make you your first $1 million. So if you haven't watched my video on how to make your first $1 million, I highly recommend you click the link over there and walk you through everything you need to know.